to the Patterson Library Connection. In this episode of our podcast, we'll share good news and library happenings, talk to fun and interesting guests, and connect with our Patterson community. I'm Lillie Misenti, the Marketing and Program Director here at the library. In today's episode, I'm talking to some of our amazing library staff. Some of you know them well. They are familiar faces around the library, and for those of you who don't know them, you'll get to know a bit about who they are, what they do, and how together we make this library work. Thanks for joining us. Now let's get started. Hi, Adam.
Hi, Lillie.
Did you just hear the train?
I heard not just one train, but we just had multiple trains go by, which isn't, we expect one.
Mm-hmm. It's funny. Every time we try to record, it's like the train knows and it comes through. So
they're fans. They've been listening to the podcast. They know we're here.
Yes.
And they're scheduling their trains right by the Patterson Library, coming straight through Patterson, New York, so that they show up and get a special, what do they call that? Like a promo or something of the Metro North train line.
Well, yeah, we've had to pause many times today, but it's all good. It's what makes Patterson. It really is one of the things that when we're doing yoga in the park, the train will go by. It's just, it doesn't matter what we're doing. So we've all gotten used to it, but it is a little bit more challenging when we're recording, right? But so it was great to see you here yesterday with your son. He's adorable.
Yeah, he's definitely there. He's 2.5 going on 3 this summer, and he loves the library. We've been coming to the children's programs since we found out about them, and it's one of the highlights of our week. And he's met some great friends here and some great resources, especially before he started daycare. We were coming to the library, so that was kind of his social exposure. So we were actually here bringing back our first museum pass that we borrowed, and we came on Saturday. It was a little last minute, but luckily it was available, and we got the Stepping Stones museum pass in Norwalk.
How was that?
I've never been there before, and it was really cool. Like, as an adult, I'm like, oh my gosh, can adult museums be like this, please? Right away they had like my favorite exhibit ever, which is like the kinetic ball machine where they have all the like Rube Goldberg kind of contraption with the balls moving around. So I was like, I want to hang out there all day, but my wife and son want to go elsewhere. So I'm like, all right, I'll go. So we went to the light exhibit, and they had these beautiful lights in the dark. You can play with all these different kind of cool looking optical illusions. Then we went to the dinosaurs, and they have a big animatronic dinosaur there, amongst other things, and a time machine. You can get a little brush out and go look for fossils, and they had a microscope. You can look underneath that. The winning part, by far, was like the water bubble air world.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah, it was very cool. So basically, they had all these like those little pool plastic balls you get in the ball pit, and then all these tunnels, contraptions, and waters and funnels and things that like just took them everywhere. But that was great. And honestly, the museum pass from the library, it really helped.
Sure.
We were able to take that money we saved with the museum pass and go stop by, a local restaurant on the way back, which maybe we wouldn't have done. So it made the day. It really made it something where we could just go out, enjoy ourselves as a family, and not necessarily be thinking about whether or not we're overspending for the day. So
that's cool.
It was awesome. I'm really happy.
That's the whole point of the program. It is to give everybody an opportunity to visit a great museum and enjoy the day. And really, I say it often that you feel it in your pocket when you use those passes. You just walk in and you don't pay, and you're watching other people online as they're paying, and you're not. And you just do. You feel it. And like you said, even if you spend the money elsewhere, it allows you to have a nice day. And I know I've gone to the Guggenheim, and the money I saved on the tickets paid for my parking. So it really is a great help. I'm so glad you got to go.
Absolutely. And
I've never been to that one, and my grandson loves dinosaurs. So
you guys got to go, or we'll go next time. We'll bring the museum pass.
Be awesome.
And I think you get buy one get one free. So
that's awesome.
Let's do it.
Yes.
I'll be back.
Sounds like a plan. That, I'm really glad to hear that you use the passes, and they have been going out a lot. And I took a big group of people. We were about 17 people. We went to the Dia Museum in Beacon on Friday.
How was that?
It was wonderful. They've changed some of the exhibits since I was there last, and they have a huge Andy Warhol exhibit called Shadows, and it's amazing. And everything in there was so fascinating and really fun to see. And I'm not exactly into modern art, but I will say I really enjoyed it. It's my second time there in a few months, and it just makes you think outside the box. What looks like a huge 30-foot hole really is an incredible piece of work when you're looking at it and the way it's presented there and everything else. So I will say the people that came loved it, and we had a wonderful tour. And of course, it's in Beacon, so we went into town for lunch and stuff. So
There you go.
it was a great day, and it's just one of our off-site trips, and we'll be doing more of those and utilizing the passes as well. We've done the Aldrich Museum, the FDR Museum with our passes, and we'll have more to come. So I'm really glad we have that program. So
Well, I'm looking forward to doing that one. That's on my list to do the D. I haven't been there yet.
it is just such a great experience, and it's in an old Nabisco factory warehouse.
Do they serve cookies?
No, they used to print the boxes there. So it really is such an amazing space. So in addition to the art, the building itself is really cool. I have this really neat sound exhibit going on.
Oh.
It's just worth going to. So
Does it have train whistles in it? Because we can have our own exhibit right here.
Yeah,
apparently.
no train whistles, no. But who knows? Maybe that's the next one. But anyway, I'm glad we're getting this done today, and we're getting to share some exciting news. And here we go. Let's have some good news. I am so excited to announce that we will be making some wonderful improvements to the main library. Thanks to a New York State construction grant and additional funding from Assemblyman Matt Slater, there will be 2 new quiet reading nooks, lower shelves that will make books easier to reach, and give us a great new open sight line, new carpeting, and a fresh coat of paint to give us a brand new look, as well as some updates to the HVAC systems, new acoustic tiles for the ceiling, and energy efficient lighting. All of these changes are going to give us a really fresh, updated look, and it's been a while since we've had that. So I can't wait for everybody to see what's coming. It's going to be fantastic. And in addition to the grant funding, these improvements will be paid for from our capital reserves and donations. So there will be no additional cost to the residents. And the project starts in May and should be completed by October 2025. So for a few months, we're going to be going through the construction phase, but we are going to make every effort to limit any inconvenience to our patrons. It's just something really exciting to look forward to, and I'm sure everybody's going to love the finished product. I've seen the renderings, and it is going to be awesome, and it will provide some much needed quiet space that we can really use, and just freshening things up will make it really exciting in here. So look forward to that. The best part of that good news is it really is funded with no additional burden onto the taxpayers. So that is our good news. My wonderful guest today is the Patterson Library's Circulation and Database Control Manager, Amanda Booth. Hi, Amanda.
Hi.
I'm so glad you decided to come on and join me.
No problem. Anytime.
I wanted everybody to get a chance to know our staff and to know about what we do here at the library. And we have a lot of long-term staff members here. And I know me and you started about the same time in 2007.
Mm-hmm.
That means you've been here, same as me.
Yep. A long time.
A long time, 18 years.
Yeah.
So what was your position when you first started?
I started as a part-time circulation clerk back in 2007.
Wow, I remember.
Mm-hmm.
I remember. And you have been here such a long time, and you have progressed into many roles. And now you are the circulation manager. And tell us about what your position entails.
Primarily, my role as circulation manager is to serve as support for the circulation staff, whether that's helping them with problems that they encounter as they're trying to just perform their daily duties, or whether that's training them on new digital resources that we have, or the new catalog is another great example where I had to help train them before it went out to the public on how to use, so that way they know how to help patrons when patrons ask them questions. And then I also help the patrons themselves as well with any questions that they might have about the library. Other portions of my job include collection development of physical and digital materials, which are two very large sections.
Yes, we have a lot of resources. And I know you keep all the stats for us as well.
I do. A lot.
Tell us about that. What are some of the statistics you keep?
I keep statistics on how many people enter the library daily. I keep statistics on how many ebooks, e-audiobooks, all of the digital resources, how many people visit those websites and use those resources. I also keep track on what of the physical collection goes out per month. I keep track on how often our public computers are used. I keep track on how often our wireless service is accessed, which can be accessed from anywhere inside the building or outside the building as well. And it doesn't have to be when we're open. It can happen when we're closed. You can stop by after hours and use our Wi-Fi from your car if you need to.
Well, I know you have kept the statistics for so long, and you always give them to me for the annual report, which I did for many years. And I loved seeing those numbers because it does give us a picture of what happens year to year. And I know this year you're doing the annual report. So what were some of the fun facts that you came up with? Like how many items were borrowed?
For 2024, there were 55,949 items that were borrowed.
Wow, that is a lot. And I know that's not just books, that's books,
That's
everything.
the ebooks and e-audiobooks as well from Hoopla and Overdrive, or Libby, as it's now called.
And what are the three top categories? What are people borrowing? What do you see them reading?
Out of nonfiction, that is biographies, cooking, and history.
Wow.
Yeah. I was actually surprised to see that biographies just inched ahead of cooking just a little bit, because usually it's cooking that's ahead.
Yeah, it's funny because for a while there was health and wellness that were up at the top. So we've seen a shift in people's interests. It's interesting to see when we do programming too, the correlation between the programs and how it affects our circulation. I know for a while when we did the grants and we did yoga and cooking and wellness, all those programs, people would leave and take out books on those subjects. And then for a while, it really changed what the top categories were. It's interesting that biographies is back on top.
I mean, health and wellness is still popular. It just didn't quite reach the number that those three reached.
Well, it says a lot about what people, like I said, what their interests are. So it's always fun to see. We also have DVDs. How many of those went out in 2024?
3,945.
Wow. So people like movies, and it always fascinates me because with all of the streaming services at home and Netflix and all of that stuff we have access to, people still come in and borrow a lot of DVDs.
Well, there's still some things that aren't available streaming. So you have to get them in another material type, which is either DVD or Blu-ray.
That's true. So we're still popular. So we still have a lot of things people need. So I know you've seen a lot of the advances in technology on your end. Like you said, you train the staff on a lot of things, and we've seen a lot of things change here at the library since we first started. How have those changes had an impact in the library?
It's definitely brought in more people looking for help, because you have a lot of people who didn't grow up with computers at all. Their first interaction with a computer might be at a library. I mean, it's up to us to sort of help them navigate that and to get to where they need to go, because so much is becoming digital now. Like, they don't have the option to do paper anymore. They have to do things digitally. So if they don't have a computer at home, they come here.
Yeah. Those computers are busy all day long. We see there's 8 I think.
There's 8 public PCs total. Yeah.
And they're pretty much full. People rotate all day. What are the kind of questions that people ask you for help on those computers?
Mainly how to print things.
That's a great service we have here. A lot of people come in to print and to use our Wi-Fi, to your point. And especially once we saw after COVID, so many people working remotely from home. That I've seen so much change here in the library since then. And we see a lot of people taking advantage of our tools that they may not have at home, from the copiers and all of that.
Yep.
So
Scanning, fax machine.
all of that, and printing especially.
Yes.
I know how many people come in and have a flash drive in their hand and just need to print stuff.
Yep.
So that's the kind of thing that I think we've seen a big change with, but I don't know is visible to the outside, and if people really know how much of an impact people working remotely have had, on us here, and just how much more we offer for them because of that. Like I said, 24/7 Wi-Fi outside is huge. We see people in their cars all the time.
Yep. There's usually at least a couple when I come in the morning, sitting in the cars using the Wi-Fi. So
I know.
It's there.
It is. And it's great to be able to offer that. A lot of people, not only just for convenience, but it saves them a ton of money. A lot of people don't have Wi-Fi at home. Some people just stop on their way to some place because they're catching up on some work or something. But some people really just don't have it and come in to use it.
Yeah, we also have a mobile hotspot too. So if you're like traveling and you're not sure about the Wi-Fi, you can borrow the mobile hotspot as well.
That's an awesome resource. Yeah, we do have a really cool library of things. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what we offer?
In our library of things, we have the museum passes, which is the item that we've had the longest. I think we've had that since 2010. We started the museum pass program. And then we added the lending tool shed when we added the garden. So you have access to a whole bunch of different hand tools, like long-handled shovels, 2 different kinds of rakes, a leaf blower, hand tools for gardening, and we also have a bulb planter as well for that. We also have a microscope, which comes with already prepared slides, which is great for anyone who homeschools. They can borrow that and have a really great science day with their kids. We also have bird watching kits and a knitting and a crochet kit. We have 2 Nintendo Switches that can be lent out. Oh, and we also have a seed library that just opened back up for the season. And we have that in partnership with Cornell Cooperative Extension.
And we have cake pans.
And cake pans. Yes, they're still here. We still have the cake pans.
We still have cake pans. That is like the one thing that we see all the little kids ask for. A Mickey Mouse cake, a tractor cake, a Barbie cake. And you don't have to go buy. That's really such, to me, a waste. And who wants to store a cake pan that you're going to use once?
Yeah.
So it really has been a popular addition to this library for years now. And it's really fun to see all the different shapes and stuff that people take out. I love Super Bowl season because we always take the football out and we always have a football cake. So it's cool. So you mentioned the Museum Pass program, which I am a huge fan of. I love that program, and I know we started it in 2010, and I remember the last annual report I did, which was a couple of years ago, we had saved people over $100,000. So it's a huge number in savings. So I know we've gotten some new passes. So why don't you tell people about some of the passes we have? What do we offer?
We offer the American Museum of Natural History vouchers, which families are welcome to pick up 2 vouchers per calendar year for their family. And it's good until the expiration date on the voucher itself. We have the Bosco Bell House Gardens, which is considerably local. The Connecticut's Beardsley Zoo, which is a really nice small zoo in Connecticut. I think it's in Bridgeport, if I remember correctly. The Danbury Railway Museum. Dia Beacon is our newest one. We just added that one this year. And that one is a reciprocal pass. It allows you into any of the sites that Dia owns. So it's not good for just Dia Beacon, but also their sites in New York City and also across the country. And I want to say internationally, but I'm not sure.
I think so too. I think there is an international one.
We also have the Empire Pass, the Ever Wonder Children's Museum, the FDR Presidential Library and Museum, which is also vouchers, so people can come in and pick that up as they will. The Guggenheim Museum, the Hammond Museum and Japanese Stroll Gardens, Hudson Valley MoCA, which is another reciprocal museum pass that allows you into several other sites, the Intrepid Museum, Mohonk Preserve, Mystic Seaport Museum, Alana State Historic Site, Putnam History Museum, Stepping Stones Museum for Children, Storm King Art Center, and the Westchester Children's Museum.
Those are such great options. I know I've used the passes myself, and I always tell the story when I went to the Intrepid, and it allows, I think at the time it allowed 6 people.
Yeah, it doesn't anymore. It's 2 adults and 2 kids now. But when we originally got it, it did allow 6 people in.
And it was such a huge savings. And I went with my husband on Memorial Day, and we walked right in, and there were people online for hours. And you get to go right to the VIP window. Same with the Guggenheim. And I remember I invited a few people to join us that were on these long lines to come in with us on our pass, since I was able to let, up to 6 people in. And they were so grateful. And it was just wonderful to be able to save that kind of money. I think at the time I saved $125 or something like that. For I think at the time that was a savings for a family of 6, and it was just a great day. You walk in, no lines, and you go right to the front, and you just have an amazing experience, and you feel it in your pocket. And like we were just saying earlier, off camera, kind of like, but you just spend it on something else. You go to a nicer lunch or whatever, but at least it gives you some spending money. It's just a great resource, and I hope everybody really takes advantage of it. And you really just need your Mid-Hudson Library card. You don't have to be a resident of Patterson, right? It's open to anyone with a Mid-Hudson card.
Yes.
So I urge everybody to take a museum pass and have fun with the kids, or if you're for yourself, they're wonderful. Among the other things, they all make your job a lot of fun. And I know, like I said, we've been here a long time, so we must love it, right? So what is your favorite part about working here at the library?
I had to think about this question. My favorite part is actually my fellow staff. I've been here since I was basically fresh out of high school, and I've learned a lot from them and tried new things I probably wouldn't have otherwise considered. So I feel like being here has really just nurtured who I am as a person and has helped me grow over the years.
I can say the same. I agree. And watching you grow, honestly, when I was working in the schools with you as a student and seeing where you are today, it has been extraordinary to watch you grow. And I think this place is very nurturing to the staff and to the community. The fun part is we've watched even the little kids grow.
Yes.
We've seen kids that were coming in here when we started, and they were like,
they're in college
5.
now.
Yes. Some of them have gotten married. They come in with their own babies. It's really something. And I do think you're absolutely right. I think the staff here is amazing, and we're fortunate to be here. So, well, thank you so much for being my guest today. I think it's really nice that people get to know a little bit more about Amanda Booth. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for tuning in to the Patterson Library Connection. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help us grow, please share it with a friend. You can follow and subscribe to our podcast on our website, pattersonlibrary.org, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube. This podcast was recorded at the Patterson Library in Patterson, New York. Special thanks to our sound engineer, producer, and composer, Adam Bernier, our library director, Stephanie Harrison, our board of trustees, and to you, our listeners. I'm your host, Lillie Musenti. We'll see you next time on the Patterson Library Connection. The Patterson Library trustees and staff do not promote nor endorse the opinions of our guests.